YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, back in Total War Attila. Gonna load up the legendary West Rome campaign. And I will be right back when this thing gets loaded up. Alright, what'd I tell you? Here I am. So, this starting point's going to be a little different than where you saw last. And the reason being is, I'm a long way into the campaign. We fought a lot of tiresome, battles. The Rugians had two transport fleets, and they attacked Camalodunum. And it was a big siege battle, which I was kind of excited to show you, but I went to fight it. The AI glitched out. And I was able to sink pretty much all their ships because they just sat there. So, I had a couple of garrison onager ships, and I sunk most of their navy. It was really very boring. The only other thing I did was I decided to move Sextus back towards Colonia Agrippa, and I'm actually going to move him down so that we can get him into action with the Huns, and honestly just kind of forget about what's going on up here up north. I am leaving two very stacked fleets and a navy to protect Britannia and my northern interest. So we should be fine. But basically the idea was the last episode had a battle where the AI was very glitched and very uninteresting. One thing I did start to do on that episode too, though, is I started to build a stack of all cavalry to help support the armies that are going to go out against the Huns. And I do want to go out and try and find Attila. The easiest way to find him is if we go here to diplomacy, it kind of gives him away. So Attila is right now up here in... right outside of Thrungian territory. In, let's see, the settlement name. Yeah, however you pronounce that. They're up here by a desolate settlement. And let's see where Thrungian territory is. It's not here. I guess they're right up here. It's saying Attila's somewhere right up here, so maybe right behind the fog of war up there. I don't have any movement with my spies, or else I would take a look. But yeah, I think he's right up here somewhere, and I want to engage him. That was the request of Sextus in the comments, was that he gets some Hun blood on his sword. Honestly, it'd be really cool if Sextus were to... get into one-on-one combat like his bodyguard versus Attila's bodyguard, though I'm assuming that Attila's bodyguard would be superior to the Comez. Could be wrong. Sextus does have quite a few chevrons on his unit here, and if I put him into that office, he can have +10 attack too, which would make him a pretty sturdy heavy melee cav unit. So a few things I wanted to discuss as I jump into the episode. There seems to be a constant discussion. It came up in the last video in a rather heated manner, in the comments, not in the video. And it's come up in a lot of other videos where people are arguing over whether or not this campaign is challenging. And the reason that argument pops up is because there's a certain crowd of people who feel like, since I modded it, I took all the hard out of it. It's not hard at all. This is just an easy cakewalk, and that this campaign really isn't difficult. I ruined all the challenge because of what I did. So... and then the other camp says, well, hey, it's a legendary campaign. It's hard. So let me kind of explain a few things. And honestly, I think that I think I'm ready to end a turn right here anyway. So, yeah, what did I do to the campaign? What's different between this campaign and playing a vanilla legendary campaign? So let me walk through a couple of the key mods that make differences to this campaign. The first and foremost is going to be the double garrison mod. So why did I enable a double garrison mod? Number one, because I knew that there was going to be a huge inordinate number of small city defenses in this campaign. And someone would be like, well, you're just making it easier on yourself here. In a way, yes, I was. For me to fight battle after battle after battle after battle with one spear comitatenses and one, whatever you call them, cohorts or whatever it is just awfully boring, terribly boring, and I'm not interested in it. I don't want to do it. I don't like it. So, does that mod overall benefit me in terms of difficulty? Yes. Why is that? It's because I can better use a double garrison than the AI can. The AI also gets double garrison, so it's not all in my favor, but it is in my favor because the AI is too stupid to really know how to use their double garrison well. So yes, that mod does favor me. It does make the campaign easier for me. Does it make it easy? No, I would disagree with that, but it does make it easier, considerably easier in the right situations. So what else have I done to the campaign? I adjusted the climate change. Well, how did you adjust it? I used a mod that basically makes climate change the same all the way up and through the time that Attila comes. So I still experience the decreasing fertility and the drop in food and income that it brings. So I retain that challenge up to and through the time that Attila comes. But the mod I use restores climate slowly over time after a period of time following Attila's arrival. So basically what I was trying to do was to create a climax when Attila shows up that was a challenge like it is now, because my income got cut by 75% because a lot of it was agriculture income. And then after that, my food also got cut like almost 100%. Like it was almost all gone. So yes, I still had to face that challenge, but what seems stupid to me in the vanilla game is that the climate change just gets worse until every province is a barren wasteland. And some people might say, well, that creates a challenge. It's a challenge because you have to figure out how to deal with it. It is a challenge. It's also stupid. So if you enjoy stupid, and I'm not sitting here saying you are stupid. To me, the way that it's implemented is stupid. What I'm saying is if you enjoy that type of challenge that I consider to be stupid, so I'm not calling you stupid, then fine. Yeah, you go enjoy it. Me playing this isn't your game, though, and I don't enjoy that. I don't find it to be enjoyable. I think that, the whole idea behind climate change in this game was to drive nomadic tribes south to a breadbasket. But if those breadbaskets all become barren wastelands, it defeats the entire purpose. And some factions in the game are completely immune to, because of the buildings they have, they're completely immune to climate change anyway. And a lot of those are the factions that are up in the north, which doesn't make sense. It completely defeats the advertised purpose of why they said they were doing the climate change. So that's why I don't keep it that way, and I don't enjoy it. So it has nothing to do with just straight wanting to make it easier. Yes, I'm glad it does make it a little bit easier for me in the latest game. But at the same time, if I survive through this point with Attila, and I'm able to survive all this with my food down and my income down the way it is right now, what difference would it make? I mean, if I defeat Attila and I get past that climax, if the food situation stays the same and maybe gets a little worse, it's not going to stop me because there's no other enemies that are really big enough to pose that kind of threat to me. Does that make sense? Again, some of you may disagree with me, and that's fine, but that was my reasoning. So I'm trying to create a campaign that is both challenging for me and hopefully somewhat entertaining for the viewer. If you want to see a campaign where someone really goes through all of this tedious management of a vanilla campaign, then Legend of Total War is the man to see for that. That's what he does. That's his specialty. He either enjoys it or he's a glutton for punishment. I can't tell which one, but he's very good at it. I'm not here to recreate what Legend of Total War did. I'm here to do it my way. So if you all don't mind, I know you all disagree on this, and it's fine. You don't have to agree with the way I did things. And if you say, Air, you're a pansy, this campaign was too easy, that's your opinion, and you're free to it, and I'm not going to hold it against you. I disagree, obviously, and I'm pretty sure I know my own thoughts better than you do. But again, if that's the way that you feel, please feel free to do so. I'm not going to block your comments or tell you to shut up or anything else. And all that I would ask is you all be polite to each other in the comments when it comes to those kind of arguments, because I saw some people getting, I think, a little bit more heated about it than we need to get. Because yes, it is true that some of the things I did make the campaign easier. There's absolutely no doubt about that. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that this campaign can't be entertaining for both myself and others, even if it's not necessarily the way that you would have chosen to do it. So I guess that's what I'm getting at. We keep succeeding in extorting this guy, but not in fully turning him to our cause, which is unfortunate. Anyway, yeah, I know that was kind of a long explanation, but I just wanted to go ahead and cover that because there seems to be quite a bit of variance in people's opinion on that. And it's fine. I'm not telling you how you have to think. But I mean, I do frequently get compared to Legend of Total War because obviously he did a legendary West Rome campaign, but his was different. His was more challenging, just in terms of both patience and the level of management that you would have to do to be successful in it. It was more challenging. I'm not doing this to try and prove that like I'm the world's best player. I'm doing it to make it a fun challenge for me. And man, I enjoy it. I absolutely love this campaign. And I really love Total War Attila, obviously, because I'm playing it. The mods, to me, just really turn the game into something that I enjoy. And that's part of the reason why I did them as well, too, because I knew that I was going to have to spend anywhere from 50 to 100 hours on this campaign, and I wanted to enjoy my time in it, and I do, and I'm very, very much enjoying it. It's probably, this is going to sound stupid coming from a guy who is HeirofCarthage, but this is my favorite campaign I've ever played. It may not be your favorite campaign I've ever played, but it is mine. I love it, and I am excited to finish it. What will finish mean? It depends on if Warhammer comes out, but I'd like to obviously at least retake everything that was the Western Empire, and I'd like to claim most of what belonged to the Eastern Empire at least. And I'm not terribly far from that, though I do have a lot of work to do. But first we need to be focused on getting rid of the Huns. Let's just check on some of these provinces where I'm working on improving the food situation. And some people mentioned to me that I would be better off building cattle pens and sheep farms rather than wheat mills because of the way my food went down. That can be true, but it's not always true. And let's talk through that too, because this is something, and if I'm wrong, I'll listen to you. But if you look at a wheat field versus a cattle herd versus a sheep flock, really these are a trade-off. This one is maximum food for least agricultural income, but the trade-off is that this one really requires a fertile province to maximize on the extra food. Otherwise, this one has the least food available just because of being built. Cattle herd is a middle ground. It gives you the most food, but also some income. The most food, or kind of an in-between level of food, but also a decent level of income, whereas sheep flock is mostly focused on income with some food as a bonus. So as you can see, the base food for this one is 20, base for the cattle farm is 40, and the base for this one is 30. Now, if you just look at base, so if all of my provinces were at 0 or like 1 fertility, then absolutely cattle flock and sheep flock and cattle herd are the best for the climate change. However, if you have 2 or 3 fertility, then the farm actually does give you more food. But it won't give you as much wealth. So that's the trade-off between these three. So if we look at my fertility map, I'll just explain my actions again. If you all think I'm wrong, I'll look at the comments. But what I'm seeing here is that I still have this whole basket through here that is 3 fertility. Same thing over here, and then same thing in 3 of my North African provinces. Now up here, I'm at 1. So yeah, it probably is questionable maybe as to having the wheat farm up here. I can go look at that. But in all these places here, the wheat farm is still viable. Unless that changes more, but absolutely these provinces here and in Britannia and then over here in Libya or Tripolitania, I can consider what I have in place there and whether it would be better. In fact, let's go take a look and we will see. I love the comments, by the way. Hopefully that my discussion here at the beginning didn't turn you all off thinking that I'm like upset at the comments. I'm really not. I love reading through them. That's also one of my favorite things about making videos. I love seeing what you'll have to say, and I try really hard. I'm not perfect. I try really hard not to get offended when someone disagrees with me, because a lot of times people aren't disagreeing with me just to be a butthole, although sometimes they do that. And even then, I try to ignore it because it's not a big deal. It's just someone making a comment on the internet. But I try not to take offense to it because, honestly, I get a lot of good advice from you all, and you help me correct some of the things that I do wrong, which is appreciated. So if we look in this building browser, in Tripolitania we have 1 fertility. At this point, it's meager. Yeah, we have 1 fertility. So what we have here, if we take a look at this wheat farm, on the highest level, I would get 74 food from a wheat farm. I would get 90 from a cattle farm, and I would get 57 from a sheep barn. So you can see here, even that when I have 1 in the positive, on fertility that the wheat mill and the cattle farm is the best combination. Cattle farm over wheat mill in this case. Plus, I get more wealth from husbandry. So in this case, for instance, I should switch this wheat mill over to a cattle farm. The only thing is I cannot just yet because I have to finish this. But that comment was correct in this sense. This wheat mill would be better replaced with a cattle farm. And it does not look like there is any situation except for maybe 0 fertility where it would be in my benefit to build the sheep flock over the wheat field. Again, if I'm missing something, please let me know. Another great way to overcome food in the bad climate change like this is to make sure that you're using fishing jetties. Now, the big challenge I have, and if you all think I'm wrong, let me know. Fishing jetty is nice because you get good income from it, and you get 50 food that is immune to climate change, which is funny because you would think fishing would certainly be tied to climate change, but hey, way to pay attention, CA. But I'm not complaining. I'm glad they gave us an outlet because otherwise the Romans don't have much of an outlet. The fishing wharf here, you only get 20 extra food for the second upgrade, but it doubles your squalor and public order. You do get a nice increase in wealth. I'm not always sure if that 20 food is worth how much I have to spend on a building to offset the squalor and the public order. So that's the reason why I kind of balk at them sometimes, because that's only 20 extra food. But like if I want to upgrade to this herbs, which helps offset it, it costs 40. Or same thing there. There goes my 20 food, but I don't even offset all the penalties that I get. You see what I'm saying? So that's the reason why sometimes I leave the fish ones on level 2, because I feel like I'm getting the best bang for the buck. Again, if you think I'm wrong, please explain it to me, and I'll see what I can do in terms of adjusting if I need to. I think all these armies over here are in good shape. These guys probably should switch over to better units, but let's check the upkeep cost. There's a pretty substantial upkeep cost, and I don't have a ton of money coming in on every turn, so we might want to be a little bit careful. Let's try and check and see if we can find Attila again, because I do want to get a bead on him, figure out where he's at. Let's get out of here, and let's find the Huns once again. It shows the Huns. It's showing this as their stack, but that's not Attila. I thought that was a trick you could use, but that is definitely not Attila. Huh. Isn't that where it's showing them on the, Well, no. I'm looking in the wrong spot. It shows the Huns up here. So yeah, this is where my agents are. So this is where we're seeing, right here. And then Attila is just to the north of there. So let's go see if we can put eyes on him with one of our spies. Actually, I'm going to have to do that on the next turn, it looks like. So yeah, we'll put eyes on him on the next turn to the best of our ability and start planning an attack on him. I do want to spend a little more money on this all-cav army because we're going to need it for support when it comes time to face off with Attila. So yeah, this all-cav army, like I said, it's going to be exactly that, an all-cav army. It's going to cost me a pretty penny, but I think it'll be worth it in the end. I'm going to go ahead and save up a little more money for the next turn or two. My income's not near as good as it was, but it's certainly stable and usable. That was one of the other mods I'm using. I'm reducing the overall corruption. Now, Creative Assembly reduced the overall corruption, so if you played this when the game first released, the overall corruption was something ridiculous. It was almost like 100%, which to me was a little bit annoying. But, I guess if you just like arbitrary challenges that are put there by a game that, honestly, in my opinion, that reeks of poor design, then it's fine. Again, that sounds like I'm trying to insult people. I'm not. If that's the kind of thing you enjoy, then the game was very good at that. I don't enjoy it. I think it's stupid. I don't get my enjoyment, I guess, out of stubbornly beating something that's equally as stubborn. I get some enjoyment kind of out of, just, is it fun? Did I have a good time? Is there an entertainment value in it? So I guess for me, it's not always whether or not I feel like I made a mountain out of a molehill or not. But, yeah, so I do have a mod that affects corruption. It's less for me, and that's why my income was as high as it was. But also at the same time, I did spend a lot of time working on my economy, so it's only fair that I make some money. When you're a large empire, you control a huge swath of land, and you have spent a considerable amount of time and investment on your economy. You deserve to make money, rather than just have the game arbitrarily rob you of everything, because that makes it harder. So, again, my opinion. The one other big thing that I changed with the mods was the legacy text. So for the Romans, if you stay as Christians and you start researching certain... there's Attila. Okay, saw him go past there. He just went and razed that settlement. I think he's actually heading towards Sextus. If I can help get that cavalry army over to Sextus. Right now, though, I mean, we have 2 stacks put together, which would keep Sextus fairly safe. Plus, he has an onager, which would be great for killing Attila. Anyway, yeah, that's the legacy tax. So I knew that I might convert to paganism in the campaign, so I went ahead and got a couple of mods that would make the whole paganism gameplay more fun. And so, yeah, I did that, and I made it to where the legacy texts don't get disabled from me researching certain things. Because, again, that was a design decision that some people may agree with, but I think was just kind of lazy. It was one of those make it hard by just being arbitrary kind of things. So we need to make it hard, so we'll just take away certain buildings that they can do that they're going to need. That doesn't make any sense. So I can understand someone like saying like, oh, the empire changes if you go away from Christianity back to paganism or something like that. Or if you keep being Christian, the empire changes from what it used to be. I get it. I just don't think that the way they implemented it was very interesting. So I think... so where the Huns... I'm trying to figure out exactly where the Huns were there because the map was turned all kinds of funny directions. They were in Pannonia. Okay. So Pannonia, so the Huns, Attila should be right over here. So he just hit some of my allies. There he is. Okay, so we have eyes on Attila. Let's see if we can assassinate him. Opportune failure. Sweet. I didn't expect that this would be easy, folks, but felt it would be worthwhile to try. Did I lose one of my spies on that turn? I think I did. Let's go over here. Actually, it might be good to try and hinder his army rather than try and assassinate him just so we can slow him down. And that means that based on where Attila's at right now, I'd like to take Sextus and kind of just start force marching him back towards Italy. This is a little bit risky to have my guys in force march like that, but I think we'll be safe. And then that'll give this all-cavalry army time to finish training. And I'll try and do my best to keep an eye on Attila. Now, since I'm not doing any training right here for the moment, I'm going to try and get rid of this enemy agent that's in my midst. So just get him out of the way. And then my spy, let's see if he actually got murdered or whether or not he's just injured. Now, he got murdered. That was probably in the messages and I just missed it, which is understandable. I do that kind of thing frequently. Let's make sure I can remember where I recruited my spies from. There it is. So, cavalry recruits, infiltration action. Yeah, okay, well, none of these guys really look particularly good, but this guy's the youngest, so I'll pick him. We're going to have to actually get him leveled up a little, which is annoying because my last spy actually, you know, probably had a little bit of level to him. But, okay, we have eyes on Attila. We know where to attack him. Let's check our negative food provinces. Okay, 1 turn, and Britannia Superior should be fixed. Britannia, or Caledonia at Hibernia still needs some help, regardless of what we've done here. I can't upgrade these cattle pens any further right now. Public order, though, is very strong, and sanitation is very strong right now, so we shouldn't have any issue just getting 20 more food out of the food market. And we should also have no issue upgrading the fishing wharf as well. We can go ahead and grab a little extra public order here for pretty much for free as well. So that should help fix Caledonia at Hibernia. And then at Tarraconensis here, we've got minus 62. This cattle pen will fix some of that. I have a fishing jetty. Yeah, we have the wheat field here, but that's still going to give me more than a sheep pen, and I cannot convert. If I tear this down a notch and convert it to a cattle pen, it gives me, yeah, it only gives me 70. And right now I have more than that. Right now I have 74. So converting that wouldn't make any sense at the moment. I could also upgrade the fishing jetty, and the combination of the two would probably put me over the top, but the negative to public order here is pretty bad. But let's see how much of that is due to food. It's minus 17 due to food. So I think that this would actually be in my interest in the end, because we can handle it from a sanitation standpoint. So let's see what happens if we do it. The situation's only deteriorating there anyway, so it seems like I had a priest. Let's go in here and try and find my agents real quick. I'd like to get in a battle on this episode too. Where's my agents? My agents. Got a spy here that we just recruited. Hear a little air crying. Okay, let's see. Here's that other priest that I want. He is currently right here, and I do still have him coming down here to help stabilize this province a little. Okay. Alright, I think that that's all I'm going to take care of for this turn. I'm going to keep a little bit of money in my coffers just in case we get put into a nasty situation with like a surprise attack or something. That'll give us just a bit more food, so why not? Got a general. Yeah, it won't do me much good. So we'll just take care of that. Not going to upgrade the HeirofCarthage. Let's go ahead and end another turn. This is helping me get a little bit of research done anyway, popping through some of these turn-ins a little faster than I was previously. Alright, give me just a second, folks. Just a second. Alright, I'm here. So let's see. Shall not pass as supporting a friendly army here. Just going to take on warriors to make sure that shall not pass stays strong, just in case we have to do a big defense against the Huns or something. My allies have done a pretty good job of helping to clear out my enemies there consistently. Alright, folks. Now the Huns are on a real nuking spree here. They're not going to have much land to try and draw strength off of, except for my land. The Hunnic agent's after me there. Hopefully he is not successful, but very well could be. Attila. I hate how the map changes its point of view during the turn end. It makes it very hard to tell what's going on. My wisdom is renowned, which is why I'm not really worried about helping you. Fortunately, I can track Attila on the diplomacy map, and I'll keep my spies chasing him. Though I'm pretty sure if I know the AI, he'll be able to move further than my spies on any given turn. The Huns will do their best to avoid me at all costs. Unless they have a particular scenario that they feel is going to be advantageous for them. So really the only way that we're going to catch them is to either expose ourselves to a stupid situation, which makes them want to attack, or we're going to have to use our agents to slow them down and then hope that we can catch them at an opportune moment. My income is down as low as it ever has been at this point, probably because I've got more of those cavalry trained. we're really still at minus 14 here. Well, 2 turns ought to fix that. Caledonia at Hibernia is going to take a few more turns for that to be complete. This will give me more money because that'll give me 25% of my income back in those provinces where it's currently the case. So that's why I'm kind of focused on those. Terrakinesis. Circus is just going to eat up more food. So that's not good. That's just going to put me more in the hole in terms of food. But if I was converting that from the other, then it won't end up being a net hurt on me. But yeah, we're still going to have to... The only other way I know to fix this is to actually tear down some of the buildings that are using food. So that gives me +4 in every province. How close are we here? We're at +8, +6. If we tear this down a notch, and then tear that down a notch, tear that down a notch. Let's see if that puts me over the top in terms of enough food to handle the public order penalties that we're facing. Let's keep the spy headed down here because he can help turn that around as well, or the priest. And then let's locate Attila on the diplomacy thing here and see which way he went, because I can't tell when the map gets all turned around. He's out in Dacia, so he's pulled further away from us, out in this area. But let's kind of take our spies forward and just see if we can put eyes on him again. Like I said, though, it's very possible that Attila can outmarch my spies. This one got slowed down by an enemy agent, so I'm not able to do much other than... critical success. Sweet. We just converted that. We just converted that Tingri priest. That's awesome. And there's a Hun stack right here that is actually somewhat exposed. I cannot tell whether or not it has other support, but let's move this. It is exposed. It's got 2 heavy onager. Now killing this, though, will just probably replace it with a better Hun stack. But I do want to draw some blood on the Huns. Definitely do. Onager, what's this other one? Mercenary onager, so they're pretty much the same thing. Okay, I'm thinking about taking this general out and putting my troops to the test against this Hun army. They do have a pretty fair number of archers, but their infantry is hopelessly outclassed, and their cavalry is actually outclassed. The biggest thing they have going is heavy onager. And the heavy onager is a problem. It could cause a significant amount of damage to my army. And neither one of these armies really has a dedicated meat shield. This is a bit risky because there's another Hun stack out here. So this is what I'm going to try and do. Let's go ahead and fight this on the battle map. And kill the Hun army. And then we're going to have to actually bring another army out to reinforce this one to discourage the Huns from bringing in 3 or 4 different stacks to try and single this one out. Because that would probably be their response. If I come here and get damaged, they'll send more troops back to try and single me out. At least that would be my guess. The UR archers are a concern. Again, I think my infantry is going to fare well against theirs here. Being that it's legendary, theirs will still get some kills, but overall on the whole, I think my infantry is considerably stronger. Unfortunately, someone's going to have to be a meat shield for those heavy onager. There is no doubt about it. So, and I'm thinking about units that I need the most and which are the easiest to retrain. None of my units are particularly easy to retrain. So I think at this point I will use my own onager as bait, and then if I have to, I'll use an infantry unit as bait. So I'll push my own onager forward. And I'll see if I can draw the fire of a couple of their heavy onager. I'm going to get a little bit closer in case they bum rush that onager. But I also want to keep my distance so that overshots from their heavy onager do not hit my men. Now I'm pretty sure their heavy onager are going to kill me relatively quick here, just based... Yeah. very quickly would be more appropriate. They took out 2 of my artillery pieces instantly. But look, all that flaming right there, that could kill, you know, 100 of my men. All that explosive shot. So this is actually worthwhile for me to draw out that explosive shot on the onager, which is of less value to me in winning this battle than my infantry and cavalry. Woo! I hate to think what that would be doing to the rest of my army. Can I return fire? I don't know if I can return fire, so I'll just give an attack order, keep my guys moving forward. Wow. Ouch. You're going to feel that one. Not for long, because you'll be dead. Yeah, my onager crew is about to rout. I'm surprised they're still here, to be honest. There we go. There they go. They wasted a whole nother volley there, though. Let's see if they'll launch one more volley, because they've wasted over half their ammo on just my onager unit. And yeah, they did. They launched one more volley. Good. Let's see if we can use this small unit to bait some more fire. Woo! We can. This is perfect. Nice use of this onager right now, actually. They've switched to just standard shot. Let's try dodging around side to side, see if we can sidestep some of these shots. Their onager refire very quickly. I'm assuming that if they get buffs to their accuracy and everything else like they do, that they probably get buffs to their reload. My guys came back from routing right in time to get smacked by a rock. They may shatter at any moment here, I don't know. The only thing holding them around here is, well, I don't know what's holding them around here, to be honest, other than just pure love of Patchy. Woo! All we gotta do is just soak up, I think, 2 more volleys. Come on, man. Hang in there. Do it for Patchy. Look at the lovely red flowers you get to die in, though. Patchy at least brought you to a beautiful place to die. Thank you, onager crew. Everybody thank the onager crew for their contribution to Patchy's madness. Oh. Oh. Ouch. Killed to the last man. Yes, they did. But they also used all their ammo, so enemy forces just destroyed themselves because those heavy onager were their only prayer in the world. I can now move up and, with some impunity, destroy my foes. Okay, I'm going to fast forward so that this goes a little bit quicker. I definitely need to be... oh, wow, did they have one more shot? They did. Glad it was just one. They didn't kill a whole lot, fortunately. If they would have switched back to explosive, they very well could have, because my guys were in rather tight ranks. Bit of oversight on my part. I think these guys have a they have a mobile testudo. It's unfortunate that they do not have a shield wall. Some of the different units may, though. These are just the Heruli Senoras. I'll check some of the others. And if some of them do have the shield wall, that could also be very handy. But mobile testudo will be good in this case because I can move forward and absorb some of the fire from the Ura archers. And make enough space for my crossbows to get in and start slaughtering the Huns. Okay, all my guys are active. They've moved forward. Let's just make sure my guys get back to fresh, and they are. I'm going to go into mobile testudo and start moving forward. That sounds like a little bit too proper for me. Mobile testudo. Mobile testudo, I guess is what I would normally call it. I'm going to go ahead and switch to flaming shot, just in case the cavalry tries to YOLO me. Actually, will leave it on fire. It will, actually, though. Okay, my guys are going to start coming under archer fire now. Let's see how well they withstand it. They are in mobile testudo. They should have an extremely good block chance, but we'll see whether or not the AI gets cheats to the extent that they can bypass block chance. I don't think they do, but we will see. I know they get some serious damage buffs, but I don't know that they can bypass block chance straight up, and these guys have very sturdy armor and very good block chance. I should now be able to get my crossbows within killing distance. Okay. Yeah, my block chance is holding up versus the archers of the Huns. I'm going to have to risk getting just a little bit closer to give my crossbows room to fire. This is the downside of crossbows, their range. And against a player who's capable of making good decisions and kiting, they can make you pay for this. The AI is the only ones dumb enough to just fire straight at my shield walls. Alright, so now I'm going to let the enemy have it. Barrage, flaming shot. Just let my crossbow start ripping into these guys. And you can see here, just extremely successful with my men. This is why this unit was also very handy, worth the extra cost, because think about some of the Hunnic missile storms that we're going to have to withstand in order to be victorious. My crossbow is going to keep firing back. Yeah, okay, finally. Guess it's just taking them a long time to reload, but we're having some extremely good effects here. My infantry is taking pretty much no damage frontally, and the Hunnic archer line is starting to fall apart. I'm actually going to inch closer still, and I'm going to give my crossbows a little more room to get up here and do some wreckage. I don't know when the AI will feel it necessary to YOLO me, but it probably will come soon. Okay, their archers are pushing back a little, so this is about as close as I can get. Crossbows causing some pretty severe damage. You can see even the UR archers, which are fairly well armored, are going to take an absolute shellacking from crossbows. Now here comes the YOLO. Let's see how successful they are, these Hunnic horsemen. This is just a sword unit, so I expect that they'll get some kills. But my guys are also very heavy and very well armored, so perhaps not. That Hunnic horse unit is not heavy. I can take out their steppe lancers with my cataphractari. This should be an easy win on the charge. The Hunnic cavalry units do not tend to be heavy. Oh crap, I just slaughtered a bunch of my own guys with the javelins off these Gallic equites. My guys over here were taking fire, and I apparently did nothing about it, so that was brilliant. So yeah, my infantry line is standing its ground very, very nicely here, and the AI has now opened themselves up to outflanking. So they are committing everything they have against this flank. I'm going to actually take these Ballistari, take them off fire at will, go ahead and keep targeting these archers. Going to push my guys up and around the Hun flank. Got cavalry moving this way. I'm going to target another archer unit. Their general is in here. It's not letting me click an attack order on him because there's some weird stuff going on with the unit. But yeah, my infantry seems pretty near impervious to their infantry at this point. My guys are just too well armored. That seems like that I have a huge advantage. So yeah, the Hunnic army is just getting completely destroyed. Wow, a lot of frame lag up here for some reason. More so than usual, even. So yeah, Hunnic army got completely owned. So there we go. This army was definitely worth the price we paid for it. And the upkeep cost is extreme. We did lose our onager, which is sad. We'll see whether or not we manage to capture one of the heavy onager. If we did, that would be a fantastic trade. If not, it's not that big of a deal. We can probably find another mercenary onager or something else. Mercenary onager, though, are pretty expensive. We did not capture anything. If I take on troops, I won't get the experience. So I think I'm actually just going to kill the captives for the Huns. I'm going to leave their stack intact like it is rather than chasing it down. I don't think I can chase it down at this point anyway. We hunger for battle. Let's see. Thinking if I pull back here, let's go ahead and support this army for a turn while we're there. This army needs to come up and help support this one. So again, that I have two armies in the same spot, which are capable of helping defend each other. This leaves Aquileia a little bit exposed, but we have another army sitting right here and another one down here. So let's see again. None of these guys have shield wall. That would make them pretty redonkulously strong if they did. And we're one turn away from having our all-cav army ready. And at this point, Sextus, we could just swap armies with him to get him down here a little quicker, because he is getting older by the day. And I would like to have him in an army with some of these awesome troops, so I'll consider that. Sextus, how would you like to take command of Patchy's Fist? This looks like a fine bunch of men here, so they have a pretty elite army. Tell me what you think about that if you're watching in the comments. Otherwise, for now, I'm just going to keep you heading back to the Motherlands so that we can get these armies back down here to help defeat the Huns. But there we go. We got some action against the Huns. Feel like we're making good strides in the fight against the food shortage, though we've still got a little ways to go. The biggest thing that's going to help me in the fight against the food storage is completing this 15 turns of research that'll help me unlock the cattle farm. Anyway, HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I will see you on the next episode.